Hello once again, Commanders, Dinebot here, and we are on Alcazar's Hope today. I wanted to show you guys something that can help you out in the long run, and that is mining. Now, many of you may have noticed, if you have the Horizons expansion for the PS4, the Engineers tab over here. There are quite a lot of engineers. I don't even have them all unlocked, and they specialize in upgrading certain things: frameshift drives, engines, power distributors, pulse lasers, multi-cannons. So, a way to engineer your ship. Now, these engineers require certain items. So I'll take a look at the blueprint here. So this is for a lightweight mount. This is for lasers. You'll see here that I need salvaged alloys, manganese, and conductive ceramics. Now these are all things that you can pick up by mining or by shooting little rocks on planets, and you'll find a lot of these here in your inventory for materials. You see right here there's some phosphorus, some nickel. Some of these things come from killing ships, like these precipitated alloys, and some of them are going to come from scanning, like these right here in data. And they have rarities marked by the number of pips. So 1, 2, this is a 5 pip, this is a 4. That denotes their rarity. You're going to need these for the engineers. Now, the data ones you can get just by scanning. The materials you're going to need to get either through combat or through driving around on the surface and picking them up with your SRV, or the more efficient method, in my opinion, mining. So, we're going to talk about mining. Now, what I'm going to do here is I am going to take one of my ships. I have basically all my ships stored here right now except for 1 or 2, and I'm going to go ahead and grab our Cobra. It is possible to outfit the Cobra as a mining ship, and I'll show you guys how to do that. So now, obviously, my Anaconda, I could get a whole lot of mining done, but a lot of you may not have Anacondas, so we'll go with a ship that you more likely have access to. This will also carry over to an Asp, although it's a little harder to carry off because the Asp doesn't have a huge number of internal compartments. Now, you're going to want to go to optional internal here, and I'm pretty much just going to go ahead and strip a few things out. Like, I'm not going to need this, I'm just going to store it. There we go. Now, let's take a look at our cargo rack options here. So I'm going to put a 16-ton rack in here. And I'm going to put another 16-ton in here. We may change this because I may have miscalculated, but okay. So we're going to strip this rack. And these 3 slots right here we're going to use to set up our mining. So, for mining, we're going to want to grab some a refinery first. Now, important with refineries, you'll see where it says bin count over here. So, I will explain this, but you want to have a decent number of bins. So, the 2A has 6, 5, 4, 3, going down. I'm going to go ahead and take the 6. And we'll fit that. Now, we're going to need limpets. So we want a collection limpet. You'll notice that it shows how many you can have active at one time. I'm going to go ahead and do this one. There are ones that allow you to have 3 or 4 active at one time. And then I actually don't see prospector limpets here. That's the problem. We'll go ahead and fit another collector limpet for right now, and we'll just need to actually find the prospector limpet, so I'll show you guys that in a minute. The next thing we want to do is, I actually don't have this ship outfitted for combat very well, so we're going to go ahead and grab 2 mining lasers. So you really don't need them to be turreted. We're pretty much going to be shooting straight at our target, so oops, nope, don't want that one. Alright, now I'm just going to take a quick look in my stored modules, because I think I have collector limpets stored somewhere. Or prospector limpets. That's a 3B. I'm not sure if we can fit that to our ship, actually. And actually, while I'm looking at that, it's useful to kind of store things that you might want to use later instead of having to rebuy them. Alright, let's see where we can get a prospector limpet at. Alright guys, here we are, and what I have done is actually transferred that prospector control limpet to me because it was way too far to fly to get one now. This is something you'll just have to be aware of. You may have to deal with it sometimes, so you might not have a choice but to transfer or to just go fly to the object or the module that you need. Now, I have taken my shields off of this ship. Maybe not the best idea in the world, but, you know, it's not a high rebuy, and for the purposes of this demonstration, it will work. Now, one extremely important thing before you take off to go mining, head over here to Advanced Maintenance, head to Restock, and make sure you buy some limpets. I'm going to buy about 12. You don't want to buy the full amount because this is actually your cargo space. Alright, so we're going to also repair the ship. And refuel. Now then, make sure we head over here to our fire groups, and we're going to basically turn off these. Make these the first one. Alright, and what I want to do is make the collector limpets 2 on this and the prospector limpet 1 on another one, and then we'll turn the lasers back on over here. Now then, let's have a look at the system map. Oh, look, there's a resource extraction site right next to us. So you see here, multiple sites in this system. Now, what we're going to do is I'm actually going to click on each one. I'm going to head over here. And you'll see that it's telling us, or it should be, I may not have the scan data for these. Ah, there we go. So right here, you see where it says pristine reserves? This is ideally what you want to look for. Now, you're going to have a hard time finding this in the middle of the bubble, but this is kind of what we want. This means it's not really been mined much. So there are still good quantities of rare elements there. So let's go ahead and take off and head over there. And away we go.
Coupler disengaged. Clear to ascend.
So we'll just head on over there, and I want to explain a little something to you guys about rings and dropping in as well. So we'll take a look at that in just a moment. Alright, so here we are. You'll see there's a couple of resource extraction sites here. So, what I like to do, actually, especially if I'm doing this without any shields, because of pirates, although this one, a low should be fine. Should be plenty of feds there, but you don't want to get jumped still. What I tend to do is actually head away from the resource sites and drop in the belts just on my own, because it's still going to put you into the asteroid belt. Now, you'll notice that these rings are various colors. The various rings will actually spawn different metals, so once you have scan data on a planet, you can actually see that if you look at it in the system map. So we're just going to head up and come back in and drop. The more perpendicular you come in, the closer into the belt you will drop. So for example, over here with this resource extraction site, if I came in at a low angle, I would drop, maybe 20-30 kilometers away from it. If I came in directly on top of it, pointing straight down, I'd drop right on top of it. Just a little tip, a little trick to help you out. We're going to head into the inner rings here. This is mostly going to be ice rings. In fact, I want this middle one right here. And we're just going to drop in until it forces us out because we're too close. Here we go. Now you see we're a fair ways away from the site here, but we have a nice selection of rocks. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and deploy our hardpoints, and we're going to switch to a prospector. Now, there pretty much won't be any ships out here with us. You may occasionally see a couple contacts like I have here, but they're going to be extremely far away. Although that is a vulture, that does concern me somewhat. Alright, so what you want to do is you want to head over to wherever there are some asteroids, and we're just going to pick this one in. We're going to fire our limpet drone out. You'll hear them say programming. I'm going to select it as it flies away. So we can see on the left here that this asteroid is made of 10% lepidolite and 29% bertrandite, and it has a medium material content, meaning it's going to have a decent yield. What is this vulture doing? I'm willing to bet this guy's wanted. Yup. We have zero chance of taking a vulture out, so I have nothing of value. You can move along. Well, looks like we're about to die. $10,000. Oh, it's because I have limpets. He wants me to drop those. I hate the AI in this game. So this is actually a good demonstration. This is something that can happen. That's also why I said doing this without shields is maybe not the best idea. Let's just move a little further along the ring and drop back in, because that's annoying. Usually it won't spawn ships that close on you. There we go. Ah, see, look, nothing here. I am flying a little recklessly, but you know, I've got 90% hull to play with. It's not a huge deal. So, let's check out this asteroid right here. It's nice and big. Hopefully it has some decent materials in it. And basically you just want to find pristine reserve sites and then just move around and look for different... Wow, that was a terrible shot. Limpets travel in a straight line. They're not guided. You want to move around and just attach limpets to different asteroids and find one that has something okay. Now, when you're first starting out, pretty much get anything. This is not a bad one. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch to our mining lasers. We're going to open the cargo bay, put some energy into our weapons, and move forward a little bit until we get into range. This could look a little scary because asteroids are so huge, but... So what we do is we just start firing, and you'll start seeing... That was our other limpet expiring. You'll start seeing chunks come off, and at this point I will deploy my collector drones. And you'll see them right there, and they'll head off and they'll go grab the materials. And they will bring them right back to the ship. Now, it's important you open the cargo scoop, otherwise this will get screwed up. Now, if you want to see what they're doing, you come over here to Inventory on your right tab and go down to Refinery. Now, this is why I said you wanted multiple bins, because it's depositing each type in its own bin. And once those percentages reach 100, then it will manufacture 1 ton of that mineral or metal, and it will go into my ship's cargo there. You'll see right there, resources processed. So we're up to 81%. There's a lot of osmium in this asteroid, and it's a high yield, so this is actually going to be pretty profitable. And you'll see it says osmium refined. If we head to our ship's cargo, we now have 1 ton of osmium, which sells for around 7,500 credits on the galactic market average. So it may be higher, maybe lower, depending on where you are. And that's kind of mining. It can be a tedious process. You definitely want to do this, you know, in a larger ship a lot of the times if you can, and you really want to mine a lot of resources and try to find what you need for engineers. We actually did not get any other resources there. Also, you can check your contacts menu and you'll see all the stuff that we blasted out. There is some materials out there. There's some nickel. They'll be picked up last, probably. So let's just look here. You can see the drones. They go under the ship and come up to the cargo bay directly. Just like that. So, simply just waiting for all of the little bits to be collected now. There's a python out here. I'm not a big fan of that. Where is this guy? You're wanted, aren't you?
Hull integrity compromised. Under attack. Cargo scoop.
And we're dead. Thanks, game AI.
Hull integrity critical.
Not even going to stop and scoop up my cargo, huh? So that's a good example of mining and how dangerous it can be. So I think what I will do for you guys actually is take a quick cut here and fit my Anaconda for mining and show you what that looks like, just as a little bonus. Here we are back in an asteroid belt in my Anaconda, just to show you guys what I've done to the ship. We have got the same refinery. We have got more collector limpets actually this time. So I don't know why that one's on that fire group. That can go away. We've got 3 collector limpets. One of these is a class 5, so we're going to have lots of collectors flying around. Let's fire off a prospector here and see what we get. That's not bad. So let's just show you what it looks like to mine in an Anaconda. Oops. Oh, that's why. Those mining lasers are totally set to the wrong group. So, you know. Let's switch to the actual group with the... There we go.
Programming limpet drone. Programming limpet drone. Cargo scoop deployed. Programming limpet drone.
So you'll see that we have quite a lot of limpet drones flying out there. This is a very efficient way to actually mine an asteroid. This is not even the most optimal build. This is just something I slapped together on the fly. If I wanted to, I could put some more mining lasers on the ship and drain this asteroid even faster, but don't really see the point. So yeah, guys, that is mining in Elite. Dangerous, can be kind of boring. Definitely need a decent setup on your ship for it. And as I demonstrated today, don't go do it without shields. That's just, you know, a bad idea. Alright guys, let me know what you want to see next in Elite Dangerous tutorials, and I will see you guys next time. Hey, did you enjoy that video? Awesome. How about you click that subscribe button right there, or that Patreon button. Or if you're too lazy to do either one of those, check out these other 2 videos. I bet you'll like them.